Nice. This was actually the first time that I'm proud at something that I filmed. And by the way, this is just a napkin. Let's talk about something real here. Let's talk about skill acquisition or the acquisition of knowledge. We're gonna see if you overpay for this. That could be in time, that could be in money, and that could be in both. Alright, so I feel like this is a good subject right now because we're like in a transitioning era where the traditional way of learning is being challenged right now, and the new ways are sort of a big far west. It can be ranged from scam to the most efficient thing you've ever did in your life. And I'm talking about online course here. Personally, I've often paid the high price for skill acquisition, and I've used non-conventional methods. Like when I was starting in real estate, I've flown across the country to meet the best down-to-knowledge realtor and investor in real estate that I could find, and I've spent 10 days with this guy, 16 hours a day, and I was following him everywhere he went, and I've met his team, and I've met his client, and I've seen the way he works and how he analyzes every deals and every properties, and that was really a fast and interesting and solid way of learning for me. Now if you just give me a second, there's something that I really have to do. Ah, this is definitely something that you want to try at home. If you're sitting for a long hour like I do, you gotta keep moving. And I also went to a new concept of private business school here, and the concept was interesting. It was that you learn by building your business, and there is no unnecessary work, there is no simulation here. You build your business with entrepreneurs as coach. This was 10 grand for 6 months, and it might sound like it's not expensive if you're over in the US or other country, but here it's pretty expensive because most of the educational fees are covered if you're going to public school or university, so it's kind of cheap, which might sound like a good thing, but let me just say one thing about this, is that you don't consume the same way when it's paid for you as if you would pay for it. Bernard, come back. Don't go there yet. Alright, so this course that I've paid 10 grand for, later on in my life, I've read a book that provided me with the same amount and the same quality of knowledge, but for 25 bucks. So it's important to understand when you go into a course, what do you get for what you pay? And don't forget, you pay with money, but you also pay with time. And by the way, if you guys are interested in this book, I will put a link in the description. Otherwise, I feel like this would just be a weird tease for you. It's a book about startups, but it helps understand every aspect of a company or product launch. Later on in this video, I will explain every steps that I go through when I'm looking for a new skill. So I think you really don't want to miss that. But right now, let's just dig into why some courses are very expensive and why some others are very cheap. Alright, so what's important here is to always look behind the curtain, because every courses, they will work like a business, even if they are public. They're just going to get their funds differently. Instead of billing you, they will bill the government. So you see, one of the main reasons why universities and school are so expensive is it's because they're huge organization with huge infrastructures and payrolls and accreditation, and this hugeness keeps them from being flexible and to evolve very fast and to follow the curve of technology and to adjust their contents, but also to adjust their way of teaching and showing their stuff. So these huge buildings and the fact that they cannot fire this teacher that is teaching this old course that no one cares anymore. Instead, what they might do is even make this course an obligation, so people actually have to follow this course because the guy has to keep his job. They owe him employment security. So those are the reasons why university can cost you 60 and 80 and 100 grand. Even if you're in Canada, don't think that these bills doesn't exist. They're just applied on everyone's taxes. And they might even be higher because now government has one more thing to take care of. I think it's pretty obvious that universities and school are being challenged right now the same way that hotels was challenged by the arrival of Airbnb and the taxi by the arrival of Uber. Also, one of the reasons that made school a necessity was because the information was hardly accessible. But I think right now we have to change the way that we learn, because right now we have to adjust to the fact that we all have every answers right in our pockets. And schools that are forbidden this tool, I think they are very, very wrong. If school is there to prepare you to the challenge that you will encounter in your professional life, well, guess what? In your professional life, you will have this. I remember the days where I was in the first business that I've built, and I was with my partner and some employees, and I remember that there was so much time that was being wasted because people will not look at Google as a first reflex when they will encounter some problems. And literally at this time, I would have hired someone that tells me, hey, you know what, I just Google everything every time. Every time I encounter any issues or a problem, I just Google it. All right, now some people will tell me that university provides accurate informations and accreditations and secure professions, and you're right. But you cannot tell me that this is time and cost efficient. One thing that is for sure is that accreditation for online courses is gonna evolve a lot during the next decade, and I think the acquisition of Lynda by LinkedIn is one first big step toward this accreditation. And you can also see tech companies that has started to evolve the way they are people. They're more now in the process of looking at portfolios and accomplishment and who's the guy in front of me instead of checking the box for diploma. All right. Now we have to talk about online courses because this is a big, huge mess right now. One of the things that doesn't help online courses right now is it's that there's so much scam online, and there's so much course made by people who doesn't know stuff they're talking about. Let's play a game here. When was the last time that you saw an ad of an 18 years old who wanted to show you how to invest your money or to sell you this online course about stock trading, forex, crypto, dropshipping, anything, you name it? Next question, did you buy it? All right, you don't need to answer this. But yeah, it's getting very cringe. So obviously they're probably not selling a course that they built based on their experience through storm and crisis, through ages in the market. I'm not saying that every of these courses are bad because I have not tested them. I have not bought them. But most of what I've seen through YouTube videos is that this was very, very, very weak and poor content. And some might be even dangerous if you bought them and actually believe that this is real investing stuff. Alright, so personally, what do I do? Myself, I have a new project, I want to get down to something, and I need some new skills, I need some knowledge. First, use Google Bar. This might sound captain obvious. Seriously, I've seen a ton of people starting a new project and committing money like thousands and thousands, and before they even open Google and search about it, how to build this business, how to do this, how to do that. But just as an example, as what I'm saying is a pretty big deal, this year I've met a guy, and this guy told me that he spent over 100 grand for a new website for a new business that he built. But quickly I realized that at any point the guy did use Google to know how to build his business and how to deliver what he wanted to do. Because he could have easily find some already existing website that could have let him do what he wanted to do for a couple of hundreds per year. Alright, so make Google your best friend. Now I always try to see if this is something really accessible. Like, if it's really accessible, can I have contents for free? And can I have great contents for free? Are there very good YouTube channel on this? Are there books on this? Books are great content, seriously, it's pretty cheap and it delivers really good contents. When you get your hands on a really nice book, you get a lot for what you pay there. If you're really starting from zero and you want to build skills from zero to advanced, you might want to take a look into websites like Udemy's or LinkedIn Learn and Skillshares. Yeah, there's websites like this where they are really well built course and they will take you from zero to advanced with a linear approach. That could be very worth of your time, and most of the time this option is pretty cheap too. So these online course for technology stuff, for anything that needs a computer, a screen, they works great. Nothing can beat that. But obviously there are some things that you cannot learn online. But if you're in an industry where you can use these resources, well, you should go for it. So when you look behind the curtain of an online courses, what can you see? You can see that these are pretty cheap to build and you can build really great content. And when something is cheap to build like this, they don't have to cover their expense by charging a high amount. So that's why you can have great contents for pretty cheap. And the same applies for books. Now, everything that can go wrong is about the builder of the course. So before I made the great commitment of my time and money sometimes, I will read reviews about the course. Now, what I usually do is that I dig into the background of the course builder. So I will start looking at contents and reviews. And one thing that you really have to be aware of, how does this guy monetize? Because if the guy is let's say making contents about natural product, but the guy sells product like this, so everything that he says might be tinted by the fact that he wants to sell something to you. So what did he achieve? And was it out of luck, or could he himself have realistically predict the success that he had? All right, now what makes a course worth paying for me? And there are mainly 3 points. I need an apple. Be right back. I just ended my intermittent fasting period, so I could not wait any longer. This has to happen right now. First of all, I think that it's worth paying for a course when the content is not something that is mainly accessible. Like, I've paid recently for a course and the guy promoted his course like this was some strategies that he've built over a 10-year career, and I thought to myself, I don't think that I can find anything that looks like this somewhere else for free or cheaper. This course, it was about credit. I was very curious about this and I followed the guy. I've seen the way he posts, I've seen what he talks about, and finally I bought his course and I have no regret about it because it really was something interesting that not everyone can know. Now the second is, it might be worth your money if you want to network with some people. So it might be worth your money if you buy an expensive course and you go live through a course and you think that you will meet people that will help you along the way or even becomes partner or associates. Just make sure that your plan is realistic and that you won't go all creep over the people that you want to meet. Alright, and the third is really simple. It's just to save times. So you got to put a value on your times, and if you think that spending for this course is going to make you save this amount of hours, you got to put a value on these hours. If you think it's worth it and that you're going to monetize those hours the right way, well, then you should go for it. If you've had very bad or great experiences with online courses or any course, I want to see what you have to say about this, so put it down in the comments down below. Alright guys, so that's it for me, and I hope you liked this, and if you did, you can hit the like and subscribe button down there. This is a new channel, as you might have noticed, but it's gonna get better and we're gonna talk about finance, real estate investing, and habits, and it's gonna be good. Alright, so for me, it's time to shut that down, and I will see you in the next one.